it's a remarkable that we're in the same situation as last year, that the roster that Joe Douglas has put together and Robert Saleh and his staff has coached up is championship quality ready. I'm not saying that they would win it all, but they do have the composition good enough to threaten, that's for sure. And if only Zach Wilson could make plays, if he could make accurate throws, if he could see what he sees and not and trust it. So I guess the question is can he do it? I mean, what did you see last night? And or is that something we just throw out because it was such a wild set of circumstances for him to find himself in?
I'll tell you what, I watched it. I just finished the tape maybe 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
So I went back and watched it. And I started with, I'm like, let's start positively. I want to watch all the runs because they ran the ball down their throats. And it was encouraging to see what they did with 3 tight ends. And Ruckert, a second-year player, is a stud. I mean, he was killing people in the run game. So I was like, okay, well, now, all right, let's watch the passing game and see how bad this is. And I don't know if my expectations were just so low, Rich, but when I watched it, I came away encouraged of look, let's use just Zach Wilson's history as the bar. This was one of his better games that he's played. And you look at, I always freeze it when I get to the top of the drop and I say, okay, is there anything egregious he's not seeing here? I mean, do we have an in cut that's just wide open and Zach is, he's not seeing anything? I thought he saw the field well. He had the egregious interception. I don't know how to explain it. It was just kind of a brain fart interception. But he's got a third down throw, if you remember, to Garrett Wilson, which almost looks kind of like a corner. So he's throwing a corner out to Garrett Wilson. You're watching it on TV, and you see it's kind of on his back shoulder, and Garrett's got to adjust, and he makes the catch. And, man, it's a 3rd and 5 conversion, but you're sitting there watching TV, and you're going, yeah, but it wasn't a good throw. I mean, Garrett had to kind of contort himself and go to the ground and catch it. Then you watch the tape, and you see Tre'Davious White as the corner has sloughed off, and if he throws that thing on target, it's picked off. He actually threw away from a defender, which I haven't seen him do much of on a big 3rd down conversion. He had a nice one to Lazard. They're going to use the screen game. I mean, they did a nice job, popped a couple screens loose. The one where I know Peyton and Fitzpatrick were kind of making fun of him and having fun with, when you watch it live, where he's retreating and he scrambles back 40 yards and throws the ball out of bounds, right? They have fun with that. Well, you watch the tape of it, it's a screen to Michael Carter. They sniff it out immediately. And maybe old Zach Wilson, tries to complete the ball and something bad happens. At least he held on to it, scrambled around, and threw the ball away. So to me, I think that he played fine. If they get Zach seeing the field like that and playing like that minus that one play, they're going to win a lot of games. And the other thing I would add is something he has this year that he's never had and he didn't have last night. Hopefully, he has Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, who's got probably the best football mind, or one of the best football minds in the league, seeing things, giving him advice, fueling him with confidence even. You know how much he respects him. So Aaron, in some ways, could still have a huge role on this team when it comes to Zach.
Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show. One thing I want to throw out to you, because I thought it was such a salient point in the middle of the game last night. Troy Aikman said in the in the Monday night booth that the Jets offense, with Hackett coordinating it, was predicated on Rodgers' line of scrimmage knowledge and his neck up, 20 years, Hall of Fame ability to dissect the defense, get in the right play, and make the right decisions. Now it's Hackett coordinating for a Wilson. Now, I know what happened last year with the previous Wilson. So I ask you just point blank, is this a good combination with Nathaniel Hackett and Zach Wilson to figure it out, as this team will now need them to do?
Well, none of us know. To be honest with you, we don't know. We'll find out. I do know, in watching it last night, I thought Zach looked more comfortable in this offense than he did in the previous one. They still come from the same tree. There's some similarities there, but I thought he looked more comfortable. And it was the variety of the screen game. I think that is a personnel grouping. When you look at it with Lazard, what he does blocking in the run game, not only blocking the run game, he's unbelievable blocking in screens. So you're going to be able to swing the ball out to Dalvin. You're going to swing it out to Breece Hall. I mean, you remember, Rich. I mean, whatever Zach's limitations are, when Breece Hall was healthy, they were winning football games. So now you add Dalvin Cook to that. You've got ways to take some pressure off of him that they didn't have last year, when all of a sudden you looked up and there's no Mekhi Becton, there's no Elijah Vera Tucker, there's no Breece Hall, and now you've added Dalvin Cook to this mix. He's got a much better support system around him. Now, I'm not saying I guarantee you we're going to see this guy just take off like a rocket ship, but he's got more help is what I'm getting at.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.